What's up, everybody? Rose here, bringing you some more Silph Arena content. Today, we're going to hit up the next step, the second part, the finale of the Silph Arena tournament that I played over the last couple of weeks, hosted by Wallower and Greg over at the Wallower Discord server. You should definitely check out that server. It's a great place to be, and Wallower is one of the best battlers, in my opinion, as well. He's the guy I learned most of my stuff through YouTube videos, so always worth checking him out. And Greg's a great guy. Shout outs to both of you guys for setting this up. And then this is the 6th round of the 7-round tournament, where I almost placed in the top of the entire thing with all these names. Now, I mean, these are all GBLA players, top-ranked Silph players, so it was an honor to battle these guys and do as well as I did. I mean, that feels pretty good to me. So let's hit up these next battles. You see the teams over here on the right. I'm worried about that Grand Bowl, but for the most part, everything else looks manageable. So let's check it out and see what my opponent and I do in these battles. Going to hit up these next 2 rounds here. Scaffle99 being my round 6 opponent. Shout-outs to him for these battles. And all the other opponents I had, too, I may have forgotten to mention as well. Shout-outs to them. But these battles have been incredible. So Politoed is a winning matchup for Deoxys by a landslide. What I look to do here is I will build up to the Thunderbolt just in case, so that they may want to shield. Thunderbolt does a lot of damage to a Politoed. However, Politoed, Weather Ball, and Earthquake, they don't do enough damage for me to warrant shielding here. So he does go into his own Deoxys, and at this point, I will take a moment, throw a Rock Slide, just to chip it down. Probably wasn't the wisest thing. I probably would have been better off saving my energy. But now I will come straight into my Drapion. Now, this is where Shadow Drapion is going to start shining, everybody. Shadow Drapion is probably one of my best investments for the Ultra League, and you're going to see why. It's super spammy, and a Crunch does over half of the Deoxys' health. So now I'm in a position where I can do a lot of damage with this Drapion. Rock Slide comes through. Drapion tanks it like a champion. I'm going to farm up a little bit extra. Now, my opponent does get to a move here. I do have to shield this. But because they just threw a move, I now know that he's probably out of energy. So what I'm going to do, despite the lag, these last 2 rounds had some really bad issues. So here comes the Crunch. I'm going to take out his Deoxys here, and I've got another Crunch loaded. So this was actually a mistake on the game's part. So I throw a Crunch, and after the fact, my opponent did throw a Weather Ball here. Thankfully, after we looked at it, the judges and everybody looked at it, I was able to catch on Deoxys, but ultimately it actually wouldn't have mattered. Because I didn't use my Deoxys for the rest of the battle, so thankfully, it wouldn't have made a difference. But the game state being what it is, I feel very bad for, when stuff like that happens. I shouldn't have been able to make that swap. My opponent should have been able to take out my Drapion with that Weather Ball. And, I mean, that could have drastically changed the way that my opponent played the game. However, because I didn't use my Drapion in the end, it actually did not mattering as much. But I won't harp about that too much. Deoxys is going to be able to take out this Politoed, and that is going to leave my opponent with 1 Pokemon left. Let's see which one they chose to bring. He's going to bring out the Grand Bull. It's got 2 shields, so it can beat a lot of things. So I'm going to throw a Rock Slide. I'm going to try and chip it down, or get a shield. And I got a shield. And I know for a fact that Green can take this thing in the one shield. I just have to shield once, and I'm able to get like 4 Body Slams off. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to start flinging Body Slams at this Grand Bull. And so once again, despite, Drapion would have tanked that Weather Ball, I would have had just my Greedent at this point, but it's okay, because I'm still going to be able to get to enough of these Bullet Seeds and enough of these Body Slams to be able to take out, because I've got 2 Body Slams now, and I know the Politoed's out of energy, or I can just get to another Body Slam, because I still have enough HP that a Weather Ball would not take me out. So, going to be able to get to this last Body Slam, going to take out the Grand Bull, and that is going to seal Game 1 in my favor. Despite the dispute that we did have to put through because that catch was unfortunate and it was a game issue, this is the only time my Drapion did anything, and a Bullet Seed would have done the same thing. So, well played to my opponent. All of these opponents are amazing people. Amazing people, amazing battlers. I enjoyed all of my matches in this tournament. Everyone was super awesome about everything. Very good sportsmanship, and I can't praise everybody enough for how much fun this tournament was. And it's just playing against people of this caliber. It really tests your mettle, So Deoxys lead, this is really rough. Deoxys kind of overcomes Greedent because of the counter damage, but eventually I do have to swap out. I don't want to swap into Drapion here because that's my hard counter, and if he brings in the Grand Bull, problem. He can also bring in the Politoed, also a problem. So I'm going to play this out for a while. My plan here is to leave this energy with or leave this match with a ton of energy, and then I come in with Greedent, and I'm gonna start flinging off crunches if he stays in, or I'm just farming up energy, and I can tank a move here, even if it's a Psycho Boost or a Rock Slide, doesn't matter to me. I can tank it. He goes for the Psycho Boost, which is good. I mean, the stab damage. He comes out and he goes into his Drapion. Now, normally this would be an excellent counter to Greedent. Except Greedent's got like 3 body slams with it, so I'm gonna start flinging him off at the speed of sound. And I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on my opponent's Drapion here to try and either shield. And this is not a Shadow Drapion. I built a regular Drapion. I had more XL candy for Drapion than I knew what to do with. I originally built the non-Shadow, and I was super disappointed by its lack of ability to do damage. So, yes, you know, Drapion, good, but also Drapion bad. In my opinion, the better one is definitely the Shadow Drapion. Now, I threw the Bullet Seed because I didn't know if he was running Aqua Tail. I guess in the end, yeah, better to run Aqua Tail against my team because there's no utility for Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb except for against the Scrafty, but you could run Aqua Tail against it anyway. So I'm gonna get this Body Slam off. I will win Switch against my opponent, which means I will be able to align my Deoxys against, well, not align Deoxys against the Talonflame. I'm gonna be able to align Drapion to the Deoxys, but because my opponent brings in Talonflame, in the middle of their Incinerate animation, I quick swap into Deoxys to force the shield off my opponent with a Rock Slide. And then my Deoxys is it's going to end up going down to their Deoxys. That's okay, I expected it. What I wanted to do, my entire purpose there was to burn the shield and be able to get that the Talonflame while it was in the middle of its Incinerate. So now what I can do is I can bring in my own Drapion and I can start going to work. So I'm not going to shield here. I know that Rock Slides don't do a ton of damage, and what I'm going to try to do is get enough energy and keep enough health so that I can... I think he threw this a little quick, so I'm pretty sure it's a Psycho Boost. Yeah, there's the Psycho Boost, so it doesn't do much damage. What I'm looking to do here is now that his attack has gone down, I want to over-farm on energy so that what I'm able to do is get to the... get to 2 crunches in the time it would take for his opponent to get to a couple moves. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw when I'm 1 away, shield. I think I lose this, actually. It would make a lot of sense that I lose this because I don't think I win this matchup. Going to throw this crunch. Opponent does not shield because they don't need to, but I'm going to be able to get 1 more crunch off in the middle of this Incinerate. And then what I'm going to try to do here is see if I can get my Greedent in here to do a Body Slam, but it wasn't going to be enough. It doesn't matter. My opponent does take game 2. It just outplayed me there. Despite the excellent Rock Slide into the Talonflame, he's just able to out-damage me, and that was that. So, well played to my opponent, Scaffle. Very, very good game. So, this game I decided to lead my Drapion, because honestly, it's got great play against this whole team and he leads his own Drapion, probably, honestly thinking the same thing. So we're going to play this out here. I do go straight for energy here. What my plan is to let him throw energy at my Drapion and just get as much energy as I can after I realize that his energy's out. So I counter swap in my Scrafty. Now this is actually a GBL team that I play quite often. Deoxys, Scrafty, Greedent. It was one of the ones that I almost took my early Legend run in Season 9 when I hit it it hit it in the first Ultra League rotation and part of it was due to this team. So it's an excellent team. I know it very well, and he brings in his Deoxys to counter down my Greedent here, but I'm going to be able to throw some crunches, and crunches are actually going to do some respectable damage to this thing. So what I'm looking to do here is I'm just putting as much pressure on him as I can, and at this point I'm kind of fine if I don't win Switch because I have Scrafty, and if he doesn't have the Grand Bull in the back, I'm good. All right, that's really the only play that I've got here. But he's going to go for double Psycho Boost, which is fine. He's going to completely just destroy his attack stat, which is also fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in with my Drapion. I'm going to farm up a bunch of energy, basically almost to 100 energy. And then I'm going to throw this crunch after. I probably should have thrown it there. I wasn't paying attention, dude. He's going to go for the Rock Slide. It's going to tickle. And then I'm honestly kind of hoping he swaps out so that I can throw crunches into what comes in. I was half expecting the Drapion, or half expecting the Grand Bull to come in. So at this point, he comes back in with his Drapion. I'm going to lure it out. I got to know. And he brings in Talonflame, another excellent counter to my Scrafty. So, going straight for these foul plays here, trying to throw with as good of move timing as I possibly can so that I can minimize his energy gains and free energy. So now I'm going to be able to put this thing within range of crunches. Now, I don't know if you remember how much energy I had on my Drapion. It was a lot. So, here we're going to be able to... I'm calling the bait here. I assume he doesn't Brave Bird because if he does, he kind of loses the game at that point. I'm going to be able to just 2-shield and take out his whole Talonflame at that point. So, better for him not to, but he's going to start shielding the foul play, and I will let this go at this point. Right now, with 2 shields to 1 shield, I could potentially flip this with my Drapion, but I will shield once because I'm going to be able to hopefully not... Well, I was hoping I was going to be able to get to that foul play before he got to a move, but I have to throw the pup, and I think he was counting my moves because I'm pretty sure he knew that. So, he's going to come in with Drapion, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do as much counter damage as I can physically possibly do before he gets me out. So I'm going to start throwing. I've got a pup going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some energy, swap out, catch the move on my Scrafty, or from my Scrafty on my Drapion, and he's hitting me with an Aqua Tail. That's fine. I've got so much energy at this point that, and I know that he's out because I was counting his moves, I'm going to be able to get these crunches off, force that last shield at some point, and I've got enough energy, hopefully, to throw at the Talonflame or throw at the Drapion and then counter down the Talonflame, which does not have enough energy to get to a move yet. This is so sweaty, but I was so sweaty. All right, so he swaps in Talonflame, loses a turn for the swap, and then is not able to get his Incinerate damage off to my Scrafty. So I'm going to be able to throw this foul play. Doesn't do enough damage, but fortunately, he was not at a move, so I'm able to take him out. So East Side Pastor is my last opponent here. And while I do have a little bit of salt to throw at this last one here, I'll go over it in the end. Because it was the third game. He played me very well. Very good opponent. For my last round, I mean, I've played him when I was climbing leaderboards in Season 8. So, excellent dude. Awesome dude to play with. Super, super, super nice. And he's on Twitter. I think he streams on Twitch, too. So, you should check him out if otherwise. But, so, teams here. I recognize that my Greedent is going to be excellent here, as well as my Drapion. So, or not my Greedent. My Drapion is going to be excellent here, as well as my Gliscor. So I'm actually looking to lead the Gliscor here and see what I can make happen. But anyway, so able to take the last one there against Scaffold 2-1. Just very quickly hit the end. Scrafty was able to take him out and had enough damage on that last counter to take out Drapion as well. So good games to him. Again, very awesome dude. Very, 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 very fun games. So let's go ahead and check out this last round here against East Side Pastor. So he runs his Deoxys, which is an excellent, excellent, excellent lead for Gliscor. Gliscor here, I haven't really used this thing in the entire tournament because every time I did, I kind of lost in the game. But I'm going straight into Gliscor here because I feel like it has excellent play against his entire team, except for the Talonflame. So if I can keep it away, but I get a boost with the Gliscor, which is huge. He's building up moves here. I think he's going to throw the Psycho Boost. But he actually throws Rock Slide. Either way, I'm good with not shielding. But I'm going to go ahead and go for Night Slashes here. I want to get rid of this Deoxys here. Just because I don't want my own Deoxys up against it. And I'd really, really prefer if I can get rid of it so that I'm not worried about, taking damage on my Drapion. But he does throw another move. He goes for the Psycho Boost. And at this point, I'm going to try to farm down. But he brings in his Skuntank. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go for an Earthquake here. I go straight for the Earthquake, hoping he thinks it's a bait. I don't shield this. At this point, I expect that my Gliscor is no longer needed because I have Scrafty. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and get the shield. I'm going to try and just go to town with Scrafty and be able to do as much damage, come out with some, puppage, being able to do some real damage here. Now, I did bring on my Drapion in this round, I did bring my Aqua Tail because I felt like between Crunch and Aqua Tail, that covers his whole team perfectly. So, did drop Sludge Bomb for this last round. And I'm going to be able to just completely punch him down with Scrafty here. But I do have to fear the Flamethrower, and I think that was probably my problem here, was I should not have shielded this Flamethrower. And the reason why is because he does have a Talonflame in the back. I didn't find that out until after I took out the Skuntank, but now I'm shieldless against the Talonflame lurking in the back. And unfortunately, my Drapion's not going to be able to do anything about it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for the foul play because I know I get there in time. I'm going to try and force the last shield, and maybe if I can get a catch or something. But at this point, the Talonflame is in a perfect position to completely annihilate me. And my only hope here is to get to another foul play, but I'm one fast move too late. He is going to be able to flame charge me, and he's at max energy. So he just needs one more to get to the Brave Bird. My best bet here is to try and catch on Gliscor, which I try to do, but he reads me like a book and keeps farming, dude. If I had thrown the Aqua Tail, I would have won the game. So there's the first mistake that I made. If I had just thrown the Aqua Tail, I would have won the game. Oh, wait. But there's the Aqua Tail. However, he's still got Deoxys. Deoxys is going... And he's also still got Skuntank. So, actually, I wouldn't have won the game if I had thrown the Aqua Tail. If I had thrown the Aqua Tail in the first place before I took that Brave Bird to the face, yes, I think I probably would have won that game. But that's neither here nor there. I made a mistake, and that's just how it happens. So, he's got his Skuntank in. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and play this out. I know that his Skuntank's not super great, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Night Slash. His Talonflame comes in to catch the Night Slash. So, thankfully, I didn't throw the Earthquake. But I've got Drapion in the back. And so I'm going to be able to demolish this thing with Aqua Tail. I'm going to throw with as good timing as I possibly can. So here comes the first Aqua Tail. I'm not going to bother going for Crunch. No need, thankfully. Shadow Drapion's Aqua Tails hurt this thing enough that I don't need to worry about going for Crunch. Look at it, almost like 40% of his health. And so I'm going to be able to go for another Aqua Tail before he's able to get a move off. Now I'm going to find out if he decides to shield or if I'm going to have to just play this out. So he does shield, so I'm going to be able to get a bunch of energy here. I do need to shield once here, because if I don't, he's probably going to take me out. I would really like to keep my Gliscor on the Skuntank, but I called bait here. I know Flame Charge doesn't take me out, and I was really thankful that he went for the Flame Charge, but that's okay. So I'm going to continue my rampage of my Drapion here. Going to go for the Aqua Tail and be able to take it out. So I've got some extra energy here as well. So he's going to possibly bring in the Skuntank. I will be able to get an Aqua Tail off and do some damage to it. Super sweaty games here, dude. Super sweaty games. All right, so going for the Aqua Tail against the Skuntank here. Going to do as much just chip damage as I can to this thing. I'm going to bring in my Scrafty hard here. He does bring in his Deoxys here, so this is not a great matchup. His counter damage adds up quickly. However, at this point, I know that Gliscor is going to be able to close this game out for me as long as I play this correctly. Again, I'm against some very skilled battlers in this tournament. I can't afford to make misplays like I have in the last couple of games. So I have my Scrafty here. I need to throw foul plays here. He's going to go for Rock Slides. That's the charge moves aren't what's going to do the damage. They just chip me a little bit. He's going to go here and go for another Rock Slide, I believe. So my plan here is to be able to get my my Skuntank. Can't think, dude. My plan here is to get my Gliscor. There we go, Gliscor on here and be able to finish off hopefully what's left of his team. So I'm able to get to this pup here. Going to do some good chip damage to the Skuntank here before going down. And then I do know that his my God. I'm having total brain farts at this point. I know that his Skuntank has a ton of energy, but I also know that a Flamethrower and a Crunch are not even going to come close to KOing me because it's not a Shadow. So I will go ahead and no shield the first move, and I will shield the second, because at this point I would be in danger of losing my Gliscor if I don't shield, so I will. And I'm pretty sure that whatever he had in the back does not have the energy to tangle with this Gliscor at this point. So Night Slash is going to come through, take out the Skuntank, and then I'm going to be able to just win the game there. So game 3, I want you to watch this closely, because what happens here is actually detrimental, and honestly I might have been able to win this game if I hadn't happened. So you see that? 1 turn lag. You know what Silph rules dictate is that you don't get a rematch for that. Now, if I had landed that Rock Slide, I would have forced a shield off of my opponent, and I would have been able to farm up a bunch more on Deoxys, and he might have even used up his energy. So this entire game would have probably gone completely different had that not happened. That 1 turn desync, however, is not enough for Silph to issue a rematch, and I was able to play as best as I could, but unfortunately, because of that shield advantage that he's got now, I'm not going to be able to come back from that. So I have to shield this because it's a Rock Slide, and otherwise I have a chance of losing this matchup, which is sad. However, I'm now at a shield disadvantage, but I'm trying to build up as much energy as I can to make up for it. So I will go for this Crunch to try and finish off his Deoxys. Now I'm praying that I'm going to be able to get this. He's got the Skuntank, so here comes the Skuntank. Now, just by merit of team comp alone, this should have been a win for me, and I'm a little salty. I'm not gonna lie. He played it well, and he deserves the win for 100%. Eastside Pasture is a great battler. He absolutely deserved that win. However, I will continue to completely disagree that I should not have lost this game because that one little turn of desync completely screwed everything up. So I'll take the flamethrower here. At this point, what I'm really hoping to do is use Deoxys to finish off this game. Now, he swaps in Talonflame on a quick swap, and is going to be able to throw this move, and I shield it like a fool, thinking it was a Brave Bird. But he's going to be able to now get to a Brave Bird with my no shield having Silph, and he's got 2 shields against the Rock Slide. So, yeah, this is just really unfortunate. Because, if I had been able to throw the Rock Slide in the beginning of the game, get that shield, I would have probably been able to save up some more energy and possibly have 2 more Rock Slides at the end when it would have mattered, like right now. So he's going to hit me with the Brave Bird. I'm not going to be able to get to a move before he's able to take me out, unfortunately, because a Psycho Boost actually would have probably KO'd from that range, and he's going to be able to get to another move before I'm able to get to mine, and that is going to be a good game. Eastside Pasture, once again, did well played. Fantastic battles. Much respect to you and all of my other opponents. Guys, I had an excellent time at the Silph tournament. I've only been playing Silph for 2 weeks, dude, and I was able to do this well at a stacked Ultra League tournament. And I did find out that if I was able to beat that last match against Eastside Pasture, I would have actually been in the running for 3rd place. So I think that that's pretty excellent, considering that's my first real Silph tournament. And I had to. With all the names in this tournament and how well everything went, just overall the experience, I had to share it. I had to throw it on YouTube, and I just had to share it. So maybe one of these days I'll be able to start doing some Silph tips, for beginners like myself. It's kind of like what I'm thinking and what strategy goes on in my head when I'm picking my teams, because apparently I'm not bad at it. Unless we're in like a Great League Cup, then I'm kind of not great. But anyway, so wrapping up here, very fun tournament. Shout outs once again and again to Wallower and Greg for throwing this together. You guys are awesome dudes, and again, check out Wallower and his Discord and his channel and everything. I learned most of my stuff from watching his videos. So I just want to say I appreciate you all for watching this video. Hopefully, this was entertaining enough to check out. I mean, again, these are some of the best players in the world. GBLA players, top leaderboarders, top Silph players. Like, these guys are excellent battlers. No, they're beyond my skill level, in my opinion, but I was able to tangle with them, and I feel pretty good about that. So, appreciate y'all for hanging out and watching. If you like this, let me know. If you want to let me know how your Silph tournaments are going, or how you want to get into Silph, if you're not sure how to get into Silph, you can chat about it in the comments, or if you want to become one of my patron members, I'm also more than happy to share my knowledge with all of my patrons. Link in the description for that. And shout outs to all of my patron members, by the way. You guys are awesome, and I couldn't do this without you. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. It's definitely no shortage of content. It's coming out all the time. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.